Salam, hello iedereen, hello everyone. My name is Max. I learn languages and the last 3 months I've been learning Persian. My goal was to study Persian for 100 hours and now I did it. I studied for 100 hours and the 100th hour I've studied today on day number 100. So actually I was going a little bit faster than 1 hour a day, but the last 2 weeks have not been so productive as the other weeks. So let me just tell you quickly about what I did these last 2 weeks. What did I achieve in these 100 hours? I'd like to tell you quickly what I've done, and I'd like to give you an update on what I'm going to do next. So first of all, the last 2 weeks. Now the last 2 weeks have not been as productive as the first 2 months because I was just not as motivated. There were many things happening also in my life, many things happening in my house with my girlfriend. We did amazing things, so I didn't have as much. I also had a lot more work than usually. I'm a Dutch teacher and I had a lot more classes, so there were lots of things that I was doing that were just kind of keeping me, that distracted me from Persian, even though I didn't mind too much, so I just took it a little bit more easy. And what I've been doing is just doing my homework from the classes. I had a private class and a group course, but the last week I even didn't go to the course, and my teacher had a problem, so I didn't have the private course. And I didn't study even for 3 days the last week. So that's why exactly day number 100. So today is also the 100th hour. So that's that about the last 2 weeks. I was a little bit, I would say demotivated, but a little bit less inspired, definitely, to learn Farsi. Now, what you see here is what I've been doing all these weeks. So I'd like to show you exactly what I've been working on in these 100 hours. Now, first of all, I did 2 things in those 100 hours. So the first one is to learn the script. So to learn how to understand the script and to also write the script. So I've been writing a lot. For example, this. And these are all the words that I learned using a spaced repetition system called the G5 method. And you can see that I started by writing the flashcards like this. So the Persian script, and then here you cannot see it very well. Now you can see it. This is also the Latinized version, so I phonetically wrote it down in the Latin script called Finglish, and then the translation at the other side. The thing is that by that I kind of progressively learned how to use the script, and how to understand the script, because later on, as you can see now, I'm writing down only the Farsi script. So that's quite some progress. Also, in general, I felt that I've learned the script quite well. So I really see that if I see a word somewhere on the internet in Farsi when I'm Googling or something, I can really read it, So that's really cool. That's the first thing that I was focusing on. That's where at least 1/3 of the hours of study went into just understanding, writing, understanding, listening to the letters and understanding how they work, how they function, how there's different letters for the same sounds, how there's same sounds for different letters, etc. Now the other thing that I did was, of course, understand texts. So not just understand the letters and how the words are written, but also the meanings of the words, right? So that's really learning the language instead of learning the script of the language, which are not completely the same thing to my mind. And I did that by listening and reading the text and translating them. So I did it first of all with this book. It contains 7 dialogues, and I just read and listened to them one by one, and then the words and sentences, I wrote them on these cards and used the G5 method to learn the vocabulary. I did the same thing with the first 4 chapters of this book. This is the book I use with my group course. And I did it also for 2 stories, 1 cartoon and 1 story that my private teacher and friend Nima gave to me. And I wrote that down here. and put all the texts in this organizer. And that means that in total I read and understood 7 dialogues of the first Farsi for Beginners book, 4 chapters with 3 dialogues each, so 12 dialogues in the colloquial Persian book, then 1 cartoon and 1 text. And I feel like I understand those texts very well. So that's what I've been doing, and I'm just going to amplify from now on my knowledge of texts by listening and reading even more until I can read books, you know. And the first book that I would like to read in the future is The Little Prince. And I've read that book already in 5 other languages, so I'd like to read it in Farsi, maybe this year, hopefully. So that's a little preview of what I'm going to do next. I'm not going to stop, but I'm going to take it a little bit more easy. So I'm not going to do 1 hour every day. I'm not going for 100 hours right now. I'm just gonna take a week of take a break of 1 week. I do have the course, but almost going to take a break, kind of. And then later I'll come up with another plan, and I'll be continuing with the G5 method because I really like it. So I'm going to study. Let me summarize. I'm going to study for about 5 minutes or 10 minutes a day every day, and then I'm going to do my homework for the group course. So maybe I'll do 2 or 3 hours a week, something like that. And then when it comes to speaking, my progress, I haven't told you yet, and I cannot speak, basically. I can say a few sentences and words, but I cannot have a conversation at all. And how little I've learned actually does surprise me when it comes to converse, to have conversation in a language. I'm really not able to have not even the simplest conversation, which is sad, but I am able to read and write the script, as I told you before, and that's really, really an achievement, you know. Before, this looked like paintings to me, you know, like drawings, like art, just like it might look to you right now. But now it doesn't look. It looks like letters to me, and I just really know what it says. I mean, I have to work for it to understand, but I really do. So that's great. And yeah, that's about it for now. Now I'm just going to celebrate that I did it. And the most difficult part, of course, was the consistency anyway. The most difficult part was the consistency. So it feels really nice to be 1 week not consistent from now on, and then just do other stuff, you know. And I'll make a more detailed video about exactly what I've achieved, showing you things very quickly. But for now, I'm just going to celebrate my successes. I see you when I speak even better Farsi.